Thank you for tuning into our seller interview series. Up today, we've got an Amazon merch and e-commerce business for sale in the apparel and accessories niche. Created in November 2015, this business makes $6,329 per month in net profit, and the listing number for the business is 44674. We do these interviews to give potential buyers more information about both the seller and the businesses they're looking to purchase. We hope these insights are helpful for you in making a buying decision. We've got the seller with us today to go through the business and cover everything from niche selection to traffic and monetization. Daniel, thank you for coming on here today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
It is my pleasure. How are you doing today?
I'm doing really well. I'm really enjoying this nice day outside today.
Really, where I am, it's looking like it's about to rain. Before we get to the questions that I have for you, I'm really eager to learn about how you built this business up. But before we get to that, I want to go ahead and run through a little quick summary of the business. Again, the business was built in November of 2015, has a monthly revenue of $15,997, expenses of $9,668 to make for a net profit of $6,329, which is generated on a 12-month average. Included in the sale of this business are the Merch by Amazon account, Amazon Seller Central account, Shopify store, social media accounts, Amazon Associates account, Audible account, eBay account, Redbubble account, TeePublic account, and Trademark for Brand. Please note that inventory is not normally included in the list price. Further details can be provided to active depositors. Daniel, can you tell us a little bit about your background in building and running online businesses?
Yeah, I started out selling on Amazon through their FBA program a few years back, sort of just as a little hobby going through, and then that sort of picked up. I sort of went to different sales, different stores to buy things, sort of like retail arbitrage type deal, and sort of built up an FBA business. And then while I was learning more about the Amazon FBA business, I sort of ran across Merch by Amazon, and that's sort of how I got started in that arena. And I got into that about a month after the program started, so when it was just a baby.
And you have been working this ever since, and it's been like nearly 3 years now since you started this business. And so that kind of makes me wonder, since it's been your baby since then, why have you decided to sell it today?
Well, I want to be able to get out more and do more in the community. I want to be able to have a job where I'm communicating with people on a face-to-face basis more. And I'm sort of just, to be honest, I'm a little bit burnt out of sitting behind a computer. So I know there's a lot of fun in that, and a lot of people enjoy it, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for a good while, but at this point in my life, I'm getting ready to get married, and I just feel like it's a good time for a transition.
Well, congrats on the impending wedding. And I guess that kind of leads me to wonder then how much time this business takes up from your week.
Currently, not really much at all. To be honest, I've not did a lot in terms of building onto the business recently, which is why you can see, when you go look at the numbers, you can see how there's been a decrease this past year over the year prior. And a little bit of that has to do with just the nature of the platform, more people coming onto the platform. But a large part of that is the fact that I've not did a lot to help it, because primarily what I do is sort of the bookkeeping, like just counting the money almost. I know that may sound a little bad, but that's kind of what I've been doing because it does well by itself. So just tell you, the last couple of months, besides this process of working with Empire Flippers, I probably haven't spent more than, I feel like I'm giving myself too much credit to say 4 hours a week on it. And I know that's what's on the listing, but I feel like that's even giving myself a little too much credit.
You brought up something interesting in that when you take a look back over the last year, you look at the numbers. And when I look at the numbers, something I notice is a significant spike in December. And is that something you've seen every year since you built the business?
Oh, definitely. That was actually sort of what caught my eye, because I started in November, and then the next month, December, sort of blew me out of the water with how much money was made. And so I knew it was a good opportunity. But yeah, November, December is definitely the peak points. December is absolutely fantastic. It's a roller coaster. Every year, I think, prepared like I should have, and I always wish I had done more, because it almost feels like there's an unlimited amount of money to be made in December if you just put the effort into it. So that's pretty much what the whole rest of the year is for me, is prepping for November and December because there's so much money to be made during that time period.
Is that due to the nature of the products? Are they seasonal in concept, or is that just due to the Christmas season?
That's just due to the Christmas season. A whole lot of the designs that's posted on Merch by Amazon and then the other platforms, it's pretty much things that can sell throughout the year. I have very little in terms of just like Christmas specific designs in terms of percentages of my entire database. But no, it's just more due to the fact that people like to spend money during that time of the year. When I first got started, I thought for sure that summertime would be a hot time for t-shirts, but actually this is the slow period. I believe June, July, and August is probably the 3 slowest months of the year, somewhere in there is. But then November and December more than makes up for it.
Yeah, I mean, looking at this last December period or month, you made $27,000 in profit in December alone. So, I mean, clearly you have that momentum going into the Christmas season. So you mentioned that it's just 4 hours a week, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's just you. There's no one else helping you run the business, correct?
Whenever I have designs that I want posted, I've actually let my brother-in-law do the posting for me, and he can post the design on Merch by Amazon in less than a minute. So if I have 100 designs for him to post, it may take him an hour and a half. So I've paid him basically ever since I got started to post for me, just to sort of outsource that work. And so that has been a help. And then the design work itself, I haven't actually done that. So if someone is wanting to take on the actual design work, then that will add some time to it. But other than those two things, which I've always hired out in the course that access will come with the sale, then people can see how I've done that in the past.
Is the designer you use willing to continue working with the business when a new owner takes over? Have you spoken to them about that?
Well, I've actually used multiple different designers, and so I have no problem with sharing the contacts of the designers that I've used in the past, but they're pretty much freelance, so I can't imagine that they would turn work down.
Will you provide all of those contacts?
Any of the contacts that I can go back and find, I'll have no problem doing.
So when you talk about all of these different traffic sources for the business, we have, or I guess revenue sources, sorry. We have Merch by Amazon, we have the e-commerce platform, we have Amazon FBA. Is the merch the largest portion of the revenue?
Yeah, for sure, especially when you look at it over the past 2 years, 2.5 years, however long it's been. Now, last December, I'm not for sure about this, but I think the Amazon platform just through Seller Central actually may have done better than merch this past December because Merch by Amazon sort of throttled people's accounts during that time period, which ultimately helped the sales that I had through Seller Central because I have pretty much the same designs listed up there as are listed on Merch by Amazon. I just have a third-party fulfillment company fulfilling those. And so when all the Merch by Amazon t-shirts got throttled, suppressed, then my listings that I had through Seller Central actually showed up higher in the search on Amazon's website, which actually helped those sales.
When talking about the sales outside of Amazon, you have your Shopify site set up. What do you do to market that site?
I've actually not done anything with it because just simply, I guess you could just call it laziness. I've not really taken the time to learn. I've done so well through merch and the other platforms combined that I've just honestly just not taken the time to really look. I do have the link posted up on the social media sites like Facebook and Twitter and maybe Pinterest or wherever else I have these social media sites, but I don't really use them. So that's a huge opportunity for anyone who actually knows how to use those and wants to take the time to do it because I'm just not. So
what do you do with FBA?
Well, currently through the third-party t-shirt fulfiller that I use, I have a couple different designs, maybe 3, in the warehouse right now that the guy I work with, he actually screen printed a bunch for me to send in at a cheaper price than it would have been to do one-offs like we do currently with the ones that are fulfilled by merchant myself through him. So that is basically the most recent activity that I've used FBA for. But as I said before, I did start with doing Amazon FBA prior to learning about Merch by Amazon. So there is actually still a portion of inventory in the warehouse right now that's been in there for probably a couple years. It's pretty old inventory, so it's definitely not very, very quick sellers, but if that's it's in the plans for that to go with the business. So any of that older stuff, which a lot of it's books, a good portion of it is books, and there's maybe some clothing items in there as well.
When you look to the future, what do you feel are some of the major opportunities for growth for a new owner to explore?
Well, there's a lot of opportunity in this business, and it's something that if it wasn't for my growing tired of working at a computer, I would be all for continuing with it because there's so many opportunities. First of all, have wanted to try to, since I do have the trademark brand, I have wanted to try to get that brand with some designs, some of my best-selling designs into distributors like Walmart, different places like that, speak with them and say, I have a trademark brand right here that's this much sales last year and all, and talk to different stores like that and just present that as an opportunity for them. And then also boosting up the Shopify store, utilizing social media at a better pace. The Merch by Amazon account has over 6,000 slots available still yet on it. There's just tons and tons of opportunities. There's programs. Merch by Amazon's constantly coming out with new programs, such as the recently announced Amazon UK initiative there. So the designs that are currently in with the Merch by Amazon account that has proven sales history over 2.5 years can be posted onto the UK site. And that would be a grand opportunity. So there is just absolutely endless opportunities in my mind to grow this business in whatever direction you would like to grow it.
Do you feel like there are any potential risks associated with this business that you would want a potential buyer to be aware of?
Yeah, there are things that you have to look out for when you're creating designs. You have to make sure you're not violating copyright or violating someone's trademark. When you're creating a design, when you're getting a designer to create a design, you have to make sure that you're doing that all free and clear and that you're not going to be stepping on anyone's toes on that in a legal sense. So that's definitely something to look out for. And you want to make sure you're working with quality designers, people that aren't just stealing from other t-shirt designers, people that aren't just grabbing things off the internet and putting them up on a t-shirt and selling it to you. There's a couple different things like that that are important to look out for. Thankfully, there is a very large support group on Facebook and even on Amazon themselves. They have a platform, a forum that you can go to, and you can learn about these different things, and that's extremely useful. That's a very valuable source of information.
What do you think is the one thing that someone should know, their one piece of advice you would have for them if they're looking to start their own Amazon merch business?
If I had to give one piece of advice to someone who was starting their own Merch by Amazon business, I would have to say to not try to put all your eggs in one basket. That's one thing that I've tried not to do in my business, was instead of taking a large amount of time to create one fantastic design and posting it up for sale and hoping that 100,000 people purchase it, then I'm going to want to make 10,000 designs that are still good, but not that level of excellence, and hope that 10 people buys each one. So that's always been my thought process with that, was if you can get one person to purchase one shirt, then at least in my case, I made the money back on the cost of getting the design to be made. So that's always been my motto and my thought process in this.
Would you commit to a non-compete?
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, I actually just got my real estate license last week, and I've signed on with a local firm. So if anyone needs any house purchased, or if you need to buy or sell a house in North Carolina, you can give me a contact as well. But no, so yeah, I'm just totally switching out to that. Honestly, I'm done. I really don't want to work with this anymore. So absolutely.
And like you said, you don't want to be stuck behind the keyboard anymore.
Absolutely. And that's why I want to get out in real estate. I can get out and talk to people and go to different places and just meet different people. That's my idea right now.
How much support are you willing to offer a new owner during the transition period?
I'm definitely willing to get on a Skype call with them, talk to them. 30 days is what I would like to do. just for the mere fact that I want to be out. I want to be done. This just, like I said, I don't want to be behind the keyboard. If I'm on a call with someone, I'm on a keyboard. But that's not to say I don't want to do it. I'm happy to meet with whoever purchases the business, and just, I mean, within that 30 days, whatever question they have, just as long as we can set it up maybe 24 hours beforehand, I'm completely fine with that. I'm pretty flexible with my schedule, especially right now. Now, the first 2 weeks of September of 2018, I will be on my honeymoon. So say the sale goes through prior to that. I'm not sure how quick the process is, but say it goes through prior to that, then I'll definitely tack on 2 more weeks after that, of course, to make up for the 2 weeks I'm gone. But I'm absolutely open to helping whoever buys it from me.
And that can help someone who doesn't even have that much experience with Amazon merch get started with it and take this business to new heights. Daniel, are you open to negotiating on something like an earnout?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it would definitely depend on the offer, of course. I don't want to be waiting around for 10 years, but but yeah, no, definitely. That's not a big deal.
Waiting around for 10 years does not help your goal of getting out.
That's right.
Daniel, thank you a lot for taking the time. I really do appreciate it. I have another question for you, but
Okay,
before we
go
get
ahead.
to that, I want to go ahead and run through that quick summary of the business again. So the business was built in November of 2015, has a monthly revenue of $15,997, expenses of $9,668 to make for a net profit of $6,329, which is generated on a 12-month average. Included in the sale of this business are the Merch by Amazon account, Amazon Seller Central account, Shopify store, social media accounts, Amazon Associates account, Audible, eBay, Redbubble, TeePublic accounts, and Trademark for Brand. Please note that inventory is not normally included in the list price. Further details can be provided to active depositors. Daniel, if you had to look at this business objectively, why do you feel like it's a business worth buying?
I would say the opportunity, first of all, the opportunity to expand. If someone's motivated, I think that they can make a fantastic amount of money. There is a lot of people wanting Merch by Amazon accounts right now, wanting to get into this business at this level, but it takes a lot of work to get to this point. So if I had the money and was wanting to get into this, I'd just buy into this point, this level, and have a big head start on everyone else who's really having to scratch and claw their way up, because right now it's a lot harder than it used to be to build one to this size. And then also just to be honest, the money that's coming in is good. So that's definitely a plus.
Daniel, thank you so much. And it's interesting. You're totally right that Merch by Amazon is something that you're hearing more and more people talk about and wishing they had just started 2 years ago, 3 years ago. So potentially getting in on an established account like yours could be a massive opportunity for someone.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for taking the time today. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to our channel. And if you want more information, the link will be below the video that will take you to this marketplace listing. If you're watching this on the listing site and want more information, become a depositor today. When you make the deposit, one of our business advisors will be in contact with you. You'll be given everything you need to review this business. Have a great day.